1920s was one of the greatest decades in American history. The economy was boosting, a new culture was on the rise, and many new inventions were introduced.
Such as
The toaster. The sunglasses.
It's way too bright out here. I wish I had something to make it less bright.
Well, I'm Sam Foster, and I have an invention for you. Sunglasses.
Whoa!
The TV.
Go.
The speaker.
Music till dawn.
The lie detector.
Help! Help!
Get on your back. Did you murder Dorothy King?
No, I did not murder Dorothy King.
The electric razor.
Bubblegum.
Hair dryer.
I'm just a woman, a lonely woman, waiting on the weary side.
In the 1920s, there were many new inventions to accommodate for the mass production of automobiles.
The assembly line.
Garage door opener.
The traffic signal.
The Roaring Twenties would not be the same without the mass production of the automobile. The amount of various types of automobiles ranged from sports cars to trucks for transportation of goods. The mass production of cars in the 1920s affected everyone, everything, and not everyday life was lived. The economy boom only got better due to everyone buying the new vehicles. The mass-produced cars were for the common man and sold at an affordable price. The automobile shaped America literally and figuratively into what it has become today. One of the three main types of cars produced in the 1920s was the sports car. One of the other main types of automobiles mass-produced in the 1920s was the four-door sedan. The truck, on the other hand, was very much so behind its time. It was old-fashioned and out of date than the current cars of the 1920s. They had chain drive systems and solid rubber tires. With the new invention of cars, hotels needed places for people to park their new vehicles. This birthed the new motor hotel, which is where we get the term motel. Family drives to country areas and touring vacations became more popular. The first drive-through restaurant was also invented in the 1920s.
Coinciding with transportation improvements, there were also new medical advancements. A few inventions that came out during the 1920s was the Band-Aid.
Research on insulin started in 1921. It was not discovered until 1922 by Frederick Grant Banting and Charles Herbert Best. Insulin is a hormone made in the pancreas that allows your body to use glucose from carbohydrates in the food that you eat for energy or to store glucose for future use. Frederick and Charles took 10 dogs into a lab and extracted some of their pancreases. They extracted juice from the pancreas and injected it into the dogs with high blood sugar, and their blood sugar immediately dropped. Over a period of time, researchers learned how to convert animal insulin into human use. Penicillin was discovered in 1928 by Alexander Fleming just by accident. He had been researching a different bacterium and just happened to see something odd. He noticed there was mold on the side of the plate and the bacteria near the mold had been killed. He found penicillin to be effective against all gram-positive pathogens. Penicillin was not available until 1940 because there was not a large enough quantity of the bacteria.
Along with material inventions, there are also inventions of new thoughts.
Such as the monkey trials.
On July 10, 1925, in Dayton, Tennessee, what is now known as the monkey trials began. The man being prosecuted was John T. Scopes, a young high school science teacher accused of teaching evolution, which was illegal in Tennessee at the time. This law, called the Butler Act, which had been passed that March, had made it a misdemeanor punishable by fine to teach any theory that denies the story of the divine creation of man as taught in the Bible, and to teach instead that man has descended from a lower order of animals. After a few days, the trial got so famous in the town of Dayton that Judge Rawson ordered the trial to be moved to the courthouse lawn, fearing that the weight of the crowd was in danger of collapsing the floor. Outside the courthouse, the town of Dayton took on a carnival-like atmosphere as an exhibit featuring 2 chimps, and the vendors sold Bibles, toy monkeys, hot dogs, and lemonade. This all happened for about 10 days. On July 21st, after 8 minutes of deliberation, the jury returned with a guilty verdict, and Ralston ordered Scopes to pay a fine of $100.
this Bible, it clearly states that we were not created from monkeys. God created us all, so my verdict is guilty.
Your Honor, I feel that I have been convicted of violating an unjust statute. I will continue in the future, as I have in the past, to oppose this law in any way I can. Any other action would be in violation of my ideal academic freedom, that is, to teach the truth, as guaranteed in our Constitution of personal and religious freedom. I think the fine is unjust.
Get out of my courtroom.
The 1920s was truly an amazing decade, with many new inventions, a new means of transportation, a new advancements in medicine, and new theories brought to life.
Thank you.